This footage right here, if I just delete it and show you, it was shot on 60 frames per second. Actually, slow motion videos are shot on cameras that have 60 frames or higher capacity. The proper way of doing slow motion with a clip like this is going to right-clicking on the video, going to modify, interpret footage, and you'll see here you'll be welcomed with this panel right here, and this is used to modify clips. And you can see here on frame rate, there's a part where it says use frame rate from file, which has the default frame rate embedded into the video, which is 59.9, approximately 60 frames per second. And then we have an option to assume the frame rate. Now, if you want to do slow motion, you actually change the script from 59 frames per second to 23.976, which is similar to 24 frames per second if we approximate the number. And once you click OK and take this footage, automatically this video has now turned into slow motion. As you can see, this, if I click Ctrl Z, this is before, and if I click Ctrl Shift Z, this is after. Ctrl Z is a shortcut from undo, and Ctrl Shift Z is a shortcut for redo. Okay, so, but what if you don't have a footage with 60 frames or higher and you want to do super slow motion on that clip? Now, that's where we come to this clip right here. If I click on this clip, you can see we have a clip of two bad boys break dancing, not like that chick from the Olympics. When we right click, go to modify, interpret footage, it's 29.9700 frames per second, which is an approximation of 30 frames per second. So how can we do super slow motion on this clip? Because if we right click on this clip and go to speed and like change this to maybe 50, you can see it's kind of looks jittery. As you can see, it doesn't look very smooth, right? And we want to get that smooth slow motion, right? So just Ctrl Z that and undo, and here's what you're gonna do. Now expand here your video tracks so you can see this line right here. You see this line? Yeah. Now you can see here we have this letter called FX here. When you right click on this, you'll get a bunch of options to go into. Now go to time remapping and click on speed. It will change this line that we have right here into speed controls. Now what we want to do right now, on default, you can see when you hover over your playhead to this line, right? You can see it will give you some details. You can say it's 100% time remapping speed, okay? If you click and hold and drag up, you can see it will increase the percentage of the clip here. As you can see now, we are 171%, and you can see this line, it's kind of going backwards. Now if I let go, you can see our clip is shortened. What does this mean? This means our clip has been speeding up, see? Now, and if we click and hold and go down, and you can see now the clip is slow motion, but still it's not that super slow motion. So what do you do to actually achieve the super slow motion? You bring this down, right? Let me say you want to take this to like 25%, and now you'll have something like this, right? Have something like this. It's not smooth, you can see it's jittery, but once you right click and go to speed and duration, right, and you come to time interpolation, right, and click on this, you have three options here to choose from. You have the frame sampling, you have the frame blending, and you have the optical flow. And if you click on these two options, it will actually create some frames that were not here before, which helps you to give you the super slow motion. So you can try on frame blending and click OK, and you can see now our clip has changed. Brings these double frames, which is the frames it's creating. Now in order to like see this in full results, you select your clip, go to sequence, and find render selection. It's right about here. Click on render selection. It will start rendering your clip. And after that, if you play, you can see now it's super slow motion. right? And you don't actually see those jittery lines anymore, and it's super smooth. It tends to have bugs here and there, so that's why you have these two options. On my personal opinion, I like to go pretty much with optical flow. It gives me the best results, and if we try this one and go to sequence and render selection and let it render, and now if I play this, you can see it's super slow motion. You see, we get this super slow motion. It's pretty smooth. We don't have those duplicate layers as we saw on the other blending option. And I pretty much like optical flow more than the other. So you do experiments on your own footage and see which ones works for you. But you can see it also has its own flaws, as you can see here, right? If you look at this, you can see it's glitching, right? So all these two tends to have their problems, especially if we are looking at a clip that has maybe a lot of details on the background, or it has something very close to the foreground, and it's moving very close. And because Premiere is trying to create frames that were not in the video, that's the reason why you'll most of the time get these kinds of glitches. But they're not everywhere, and some usually actually can do this. And places with a glitch, they can actually combine different modes, as they can split this here and then like come to this part and split this and change this to a different option here, like frame blending, right? And then they will render this, right? And now they'll have some kind of different results, but you get the point. If you want to do speed ramps on any video, you just tend to go through the processes that I've previously shown you. So you right click on this effects icon, then go to time remapping speed, and then this line will change into speed controls. Now what you do is you take this pen tool, right? I want to start out normal, right? And then right at this point, I'm gonna click on this line with my pen tool, right? Then move forward. Then I want to like speed this up as he's turning around here, right? Like right here, right? And then I want to, I'll put a mark right with the pen tool, right? And then I will move forward, and I want this to be super slow motion, right? And then right about here, I want the super slow motion to end, and I want to like bring this back to normal speed, right? Then as the other guy comes into frame, I want to speed this up, right? Actually, I'm going to take it from once he's like steps on the ground, right? Add a mark right here. Why is it now? Add a mark right here. And then I want to speed up this as he comes in, like right here, like wow. And then right here, I want the super slow motion to start. And then it will go straight, and then once he touches the ground, I want the super slow motion to end, and then we'll have our clip. You know, that's probably will be our edit. So this is how I plan out to edit this clip. So I've already put my markers into place, and it will actually help me isolate the edit that I want. Now, just go back and take the selection tool. I'm going to expand my timeline here, and now I'm going to play this. Then right about here, I'm going to click here on this line and move it up and increase the percentage. As you can see, it will collapse the selections that I've put in my timeline. And right now, once you play, it will like be glitching and stuff, but once we actually go and render this, everything will be smoothed out. Now, if you expand here on the selection that we made, you can see, you can click on them like and select them. So once you click on this, you can actually click hold one of these, and you can drag apart, okay? And once you drag apart, you'll have these bevel handles, right? And this will help us smoothen out the speed changing, like the transition from like normal speed to like super speed, from super speed to like slow motion, right? And I'm gonna click on this one, click, hold, and drag it to the opposite side, right? And then I'll select one of these handles and this bevel will show up. And what I'm going to do is click on one of its handles and like twist it, drag it. The whole point is to just smoothen out this transition, right? Do the same on the opposite side. Okay. And now what I'm going to do is select on this part, right? And then I'm going to drag this down to like 45%. And when I play this, it will be slow motion, right? Maybe take it to like 35. See, we get this super slow motion. Then I will leave this to normal speed, and right here, as we said before, I'm going to drag this up. I'm going to make it like 300 maybe. And he will come in with speed, and right as he's jumping right here, I want to make this super slow motion, so I'm gonna drag this down to like 35, and then we have that, and then he goes back to normal speed. Now just go back to how I showed you and smoothen out the transitions here. Click on this handle and drag it. Remember, you only get to see this once you select one of these. So in case you're like selecting here and you're not seeing the bevels, you know, and you're like freaking out, just remember you need to actually select this part, and then you'll see these handles and you can actually, you know, change them. And now if I play, you'll see we have something like this. It's glitching, and you know why? Because we haven't actually done the final part that I showed you before. Right click, go to speed, and go to optical flow and click on this. Go to sequence and render selection. And now we have something like this. Look.
تكنولوجيا.